People who have bought a stranger a drink at the bar. How did it go? I was once bored at my table with friends and witnessed two people exchange glances further at the bar but no initiative. So I bought 2 drinks, asked the bartender to give it to them separately and say the other bought it. That was a very fun scene to witness from afar. They ended up chatting all night and leaving together. A sweet older lady at a bar a few weeks ago offered to buy my whole table of girls drinks if we danced, because she didn't want to be the only one on the dance floor. We gladly obliged. I bought a drink for a woman one time. Hadn't made eye contact, no proof she was aware I existed. My biggest problem was that my friend that was with me hadn't had enough liquid courage to get up and go talk to her himself. I pulled the waitress aside, asked her to buy this woman whatever drink she wanted on my tab, but tell her it was from my friend. I received a text message at 3 a.m. from my friend that same morning that said, "If I marry her, you're going to be the best man at my wedding." Best part is that I have probably one of the greatest photos of me in a tux on their wedding day. I remember seeing a cute girl at a bar in the early evening. One guy bought her a drink, which the bartender delivered. A different guy did the same. She smiled and waved thanks to them. I flagged the bartender down and ordered her a water. She laughed and we chatted a bit. That was the end of it though. I bought a scary dude at a bar a drink once. Just to see what he'd do. No other reason. I'm just dumb like that. It went fine, he was a bit confused. Nothing else happened. It was awesome. I was really drunk and I bought a random fella a shot of tequila. He was from Iraq and we ended the night with him hugging me crying because people are usually scared of him, thinking he's a terrorist. He hadn't felt included in so long. It was nice. The hangover was not. I was sitting at a local bar by myself having a burger and a beer. Suddenly, the bartender brought over a large whiskey shot and I was confused until she leaned in and told me the gorgeous girl I had glanced at a couple times sent it over to me. We've been together ever since. I was the designated wingman, deployed to get the convo started. Early in the evening we saw a group of cute girls, tipped the bartender $5 to get them each shots of water. When it arrived they looked over at us, we tipped our glasses to them, they cheered back, clanked glasses, and down the hatch. Oh, the look on their faces. My brothers did not know how to follow up with banter and striked out as soon as they come over to chat us up. I was bored shitless at a bar after a fucked up breakup, and sent a few beers over to a girl who also looked bored. We had a kid a few years later. I'm a guy. A man bought me a drink once. I was fucking stoked. I thought he wanted to talk sports, there was a lot of bro talk. I bought him the next round to pay him back, and then I continued on with my night with my buddies. The next day I realized what was going on and gave myself a little high five. I lost a game of rock paper scissors to my friend to decide who would get to talk to the cute girl in a group at another table. For still unknown reasons, he chatted up the friends and left me sitting next to the cute one. Married 20 years with 4 kids. I do it all the time when the bar line is really long. I walk up to a solo or couple and ask if I can buy them a drink so I can skip the line. Works every time. I get a drink within 5 minutes instead of 25, and they get a free drink. We go our separate ways after that. She tried to run me over with her car some months later. I was at my usual bar in college and it was totally empty that night, but I was friends with the bartender. These 2 guys came in and I overheard it was one's 21st b-day, so I bought him a drink and we got to talking. They were brothers and the older one was extremely hot. Last call rolled around and we go to walk home and they lived a block from me and we walked together. I ended up asking if they wanted to drink more at my place and we polished off a bottle of whiskey and hung out until daylight. I'm married to the big brother now, been together 10 years and he's still astonishingly hot. Was feeling particularly confident that night, so I bought a girl who I made eye contact with at the bar a drink. We have 2 kids and have been together for 16 years. The bartender gave me a glass of water that I didn't ask for, but hey, I like water. He immediately said, "Oops, that water was for her," and indicated a blonde sitting a few feet away. She was watching all of this, so I picked up the glass of water while making eye contact and licked all around the top of the glass. She laughed, and came over and asked if she could join me. Bought a group of Latino gang members a bucket of beer once to thank them for having me in their territory and not caving my head in when I wandered into their local dive bar as a drunk Australian tourist. Security guys wearing full-body black outfits, balaclavas and dark sunglasses checking everyone entering with metal detector wands and pat-downs should have been a warning not to drunk me had other ideas. She flirted me up a bit. She told me she was there for her friend's birthday, so if I wanted to buy her a drink, I needed to get around for all her friends. I bought all 5 of them drinks. She took the drinks to their table and ignored me for the rest of the night. Next time a woman flirted me up at the bar, I went to order a drink and she asked me to get her one. I bought her a drink and she immediately walked away from the bar and didn't really talk to me the rest of the night. I got pregnant. Lots of times for various reasons, it always ends fine. The most interesting thing that happened was the dude happened to be the bar owner and he bought me something much fancier. Obligatory not me but my dad. He bought a random guy in a bar a drink in the past, ended up talking all night and he became my dad's best friend lol. I've done it a small handful of times. A few times it went nowhere, a couple of times we had fun and slept together, once we went on dozens of dates and lived together and are engaged now. I was in Melbourne alone one night after traveling there for a job interview, sitting on a large couch surrounded by strangers. The waitress came around to take my order and I said, plus whatever these lovely ladies are having. They all laughed and I introduced myself and told them my story. Apparently one of the girls owned the club and thought I was adorable. Wasn't long before we were in the back room office lounge room. First time I ever saw a brick of coke chiseled away with an ice pick. I lost a game of pool to a random guy at a bar once. Bought us both a shot of his choice. No problems. Dude had a shirt of my favorite band, I complimented his shirt and bought him a drink, had a chat for a couple of hours then we never saw each other again. You a good dude, Stefan, Godspeed. Married guy here. I was at a bar with a couple of guy friends who are kind of shy, so I walked up to a table with 2 gals and explained. I'm married, but my 2 friends are single, can we buy you around and hang out with you for a minute? They agreed, but also requested that they get the drinks from the bartenders instead of getting the drinks brought out to them. Guess they were concerned about getting their drinks spiked. Not faulting them at all, just guess that's how it works these days. In the type of wanker who when tipsy splashes out, when I used to drink anyway. All my friends and all their partners and anyone in the group got free drinks. I go home alone, $500 for the night. It's funny now that I'm older and don't party, how many of them friends I still have. I'd say at least 2 of them I keep in contact with. I'm not a bad drunk, just a waste money on people who I shouldn't waste money on kind of drunk.